Some of you guys may have seen some videos like these ones which made you think that maybe VRChat is a good place to go to practice speaking my target language. I don't necessarily think so, despite me initially thinking that as well. Oh, by the way, this video is sponsored by Migaku. Migaku is a very useful tool for language learners to directly mine from their immersion. For example, I can put in an entire episode of anime, and Migaku will automatically find the sentences with one word that I do not know, and automatically create a card for that into my Anki. It also works on YouTube videos as well as websites. It also comes bundled with other features such as their pitch accent trainer, which personally I find very fun to use, and also very useful with developing your ability to differentiate pitch accent. Use the link in the description below and you get the second month free. Migaku starts at $5 a month, but you can also try it out for 7 days for free. First of all, VRChat is free and you do not need a VR headset to play it. So if you've never tried VRChat out before, you can actually just get it off Steam right now. And this video is not talking about the EAC stuff. It's strictly about the process of exchanging language with someone else. And I'm not saying that VRChat is strictly bad for language learning for everyone. I'm just saying that for me personally, and probably for some other people as well, it's not exactly the best tool. When we're specifically talking about Japanese here, here's the thing about Japan and VRChat. They don't want you here. Okay, maybe not you in particular, but they don't want like meiwaku kyaku here. And so if they've set up these series of quizzes, you have to prove that you know some level of Japanese in order to get in. Now, once you can get in, personally, this is where the problem really starts to shine. Even if you can get into the worlds, and even if you can understand what everyone around you is saying, you're probably greatly underestimating your own ability to just join into someone else's conversation. Think about it this way, right? If you're just on the street or something, or in a restaurant, try to listen in on someone else's conversation, maybe like all around you. First of all, that's kind of hard in and of itself. But second of all, once you can hear someone else's conversation, do you really have the urge to join in? Like, even in your native language, if you hear what people are talking about, I'm willing to bet that 9 times out of 10, you don't care enough about what people are talking about to have an opinion on it and then join into that conversation. That's the problem with VRChat. Despite me sometimes actually having an interest in what other people are saying. For example, I'm a 3D animator. I've once heard people talking about making their 3D models for VRChat and where they downloaded their stuff and where they modeled their assets. That's sorta interesting to me. But honestly, even though I understood all that and even all the technical terms and jargon, I don't find an urge to join into that conversation because it isn't nearly interesting enough. And yes, there are actually worlds built specifically for language exchange, such as this one, the VRChat ENJP language exchange world. However, we get to the second problem here. Should I actually join into a conversation and I'm somewhat interested enough to talk and give my opinion? Number one, I am not fluent enough in the language to which I'm comfortable joining in a conversation and not slowing other people down. It's not about me embarrassing myself, it's about me slowing down the experience for everyone else and then ruining the experience for everyone else. I get that it's a language exchange world and we're supposed to slow down and help each other. If I was helping a Japanese person speak English, I would slow down my own English to speak with them. However, I'm doing that for the other person, not really to have a conversation with them, but just to like help them understand English a bit more. Personally, I would much rather just speak about something and just have fun talking about it, rather than trying to slow everything down so that I can really understand what's going on. If I really just wanted to understand what people were saying, I wouldn't be in the conversation, would I? I'd be watching anime, I'd be watching YouTube videos, I'd be practicing some sort of thing which does not need me to output because I can just focus on all the input. It's especially, I don't want to say annoying, but more like, it's a bit confusing on what you want to do when you have another person there that can speak very fluent Japanese but is not a native speaker. For example, I once saw a foreign YouTuber who makes Japanese videos and is really good at doing it. He was in this exact world practicing his Japanese with other natives, while me and 3 other non-natives who can't speak such good Japanese were just kind of sidelined because we're not really sure how to join into that conversation. These Japanese guys are being fascinated over how good this guy's Japanese is and they're all surrounding him, while we're just here like, that doesn't really promote a great environment for us. And this is especially the case when I can offer you a much better alternative. Listen, if there was a graph and on the bottom of the graph of language exchanges is like ordering something at a restaurant, you're not really exchanging language, you're just ordering something. VRChat, honestly, for me, is kind of down here. You can hear what other people are saying and you can understand them, but it's not nearly interesting enough for you to actually offer any sort of input. And when you do offer some sort of input, if you're not especially fluent at the language already, you're gonna slow down the conversation for everyone, and it's not gonna be about talking about the thing that you're interested in, It'll be more about slowing down the whole conversation so that you can feel included. Personally, I think the best alternative is not even language exchange, it's just to take a conversation lesson on iTalki. When you book a teacher on iTalki for say 30 minutes to 1 hour, as long as you are somewhat conversational and you can understand what the other person is saying, I think you can learn a lot more through doing 30 minutes of iTalki than you can spending 30 days on VRChat. Yes, iTalki is not free, but when we're talking about quality of language learning, I really think it's worth it because it's not expensive either. You can check the links in the description. I have an affiliate link for iTalki, which will give you several free credits so you can have free classes. I definitely think and advise that if you have never ever spoken Japanese ever in your entire life, like this percentage of people have not, try booking a class on iTalki, which will give you a safe environment to embarrass yourself and improve from your mistakes. That will be much better than trying to talk about things you're not actually interested in VRChat. You would have to have a very specific personality type in order to do well in VRChat. Like if you can just join into a conversation that you know nothing about and just talk about whatever you want and you have a good time doing it, then I think VRChat will work perfectly fine for you. However, I don't know how many people are actually like that. I know I'm definitely not. And I think one of the other great things about VRChat is just the immersion aspect of it. Because right now I'm in like a ryokan in this world called Japan Street, which is one of my favorite worlds. It's very immersive. It makes me feel like I'm in Japan. I've never even been to Japan before, and yet sitting at home right now, I feel like I'm in Japan. I don't really think it's quote unquote like effective for language learning per se. It's more just like, hey, it's pretty cool that I get to go to Japan in my own house, right? So to summarize, I don't think that VRChat is a very effective tool for language learning for most people. However, I still think that it's worth checking out maybe once or twice just to go in and explore the worlds and just, you know, feel like you're in Japan, especially if you've never been. I'm interested to hear what you guys think, if you guys have had good language exchanges on here or not. Please tell me about your experience in the comments below. Cheers!